welcome back to Leeds Student Radio if you're listening live, and welcome back to Leeds Student Television if you're watching this on demand. This is LSTV.mp3, the radio show all about TV. My name's Abi, and today I've been joined by two lovely guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name's Lottie. I'm a fourth year and I'm excited to get chatting about some TV. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Elliana. I'm in my final year for Media and Communications.
And it's now time to talk about It's now time to talk about some TV. So what are you guys watching at the moment?
I've been watching I'm a Celeb. I'm so happy it's back. Yeah, it's on till 10:30 as well. I feel like that's late. Like, I want to be in bed by 10.
I know Nigel Farage went into the jungle.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like Matt Hancock set off a bit of a trend there.
Yeah, he did.
I feel like it's kind of a bit of a different situation with Nigel Farage though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because, I don't know, I feel like he knows what he's doing a bit more.
Did you know he's in a plane crash?
No.
And it, like, broke his neck or something. And he was flying a, Brexit banner, I think it was. Look at the picture. It like writes itself, honestly. I was shocked by that because I had no idea about it.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Anyway, Lottie, what are you watching at the moment?
I'm watching The Crown at the moment. So onto the other side of politics in the UK,
Literally.
the monarchy.
We've got lots of controversial topics on this one.
I don't know. I don't want to, because I know you haven't watched it yet,
Yeah.
but I'm enjoying it, but it does feel like they're playing into the whole Diana aspect
really?
of it a lot. Yeah.
What's this season about?
It's all about like Diana's death and like the car
wow.
crash and
Yeah.
kind of the aftermath of that and how it affects William and Harry. And I just think it's a really like interesting topic for them to kind of know how to handle it, because it is such a delicate one in kind of the mind of the British public. And I think especially for older viewers, because I know The Crown especially has a really like wide audience range. I feel like it's not just people our age that watch it. Like my mum watches it, my
same.
grandma watches it, you know. So especially for them who like lived through that and saw what happened to Diana, I think it's really interesting just to kind of see how they're going to represent it, because it is such recent history.
That's true. And they're at school or something, aren't they, William and Harry at the time?
Yeah, did you see the press photos that they put out of like William and Kate when they were doing the casting?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put out a bunch of them on Instagram, and they honestly, and they have got the casting down to a T with William and Kate. Makes you realise that William was actually quite fit before he lost his hair.
So we've discussed I'm a Celeb and The Crown. Are you guys watching anything else at the moment?
Well, we were just chatting. I think it's been quite a big thing at uni to do a little bit of a bake-off watch, hasn't it, Abby?
I don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
See, I haven't watched Bake Off the last few years, but this year, because my flat have been watching it, I have been watching it with them, and luckily we are all three of us are usually free at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday, so we just watch it when it's on. And like, we've got a little thing, someone usually buys a cake and we sit and eat cake and watch it, so that's really nice. See, I quite like Alison Hammond having taken over from Matt Lucas. I think she's a better choice.
I
agree.
didn't
I agree.
know that. I loved her because she was on The Celebrity, wasn't she?
She was on Big Brother. She started on Big Brother, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how she got famous, being on Big Brother. And now she's
Big
presents
Brother
this
this
morning.
year?
I did not.
I actually didn't, but I watched a bit of the launch show because someone on LSTV committee and a former LSTV committee member were both in the audience, and they were right on the front row, so in like a lot of the wide shots you could see them, and apparently at one point, I didn't see this shot, but at one point it literally, like, it was just them, like, so on the screen, so I watched a bit of it just to be like, oh, there's Will and Matty. Yeah. But again, that's another one where, like you say, I'm a Celeb, it's a big commitment. It's on, like, every day.
You know what I was devastated that we haven't seen this year? The Apprentice. I know that's a really rogue choice.
Isn't it on in, like, January, February?
No, it's normally on in, like, November time. Yeah, because they film it over summer, because you always see them and they're doing all these challenges and they're going to foreign countries and it's so sunny, and then you're at home and it's freezing cold outside and you're just like, I want to be there. Last year, they took them to Dubai.
I think I saw
on
that.
yachts.
What?
I was just like, the budget for this show has gone up like tenfold. It's insane. But there's quite a lot of exciting things coming out. So I don't know if you're heading to see anything at the cinema anytime soon, but yeah.
Yeah, I think tomorrow night I'm gonna go see the new Hunger Games.
Nice, very nice.
excited
I'm going
about that.
tonight.
Very good.
So I think they're going to get probably some quite good box office numbers
Yeah.
from that. It seems like a lot of people are going to go see it.
I need to book a ticket and decide when I'm going.
Yeah, no, go. Honestly, I've read the book for it and I think it sounds pretty good.
But yeah, I keep seeing like trailers for the film and being like, no, I don't want spoilers, and then remembering I've read the book and going, oh yeah, maybe I've got all the spoilers already. There's no need to avoid the trailers. Yeah, I mean, I read it in lockdown. I think that's about when it came out. It came out and I was like, you know what? It's lockdown. It's summer. I've got nothing better to do. Might as well order the new Hunger Games book and read it in the garden. So yeah, it takes me back to like 2020 thinking about it coming out. I don't know. I felt the book. My friend reviewed it and she said she felt it was weirdly paced, and I was like, oh, I'm not a big enough book nerd to know what that means, so like to understand. But then I read it and I was like, you know what, I understand. I kind of do get it. As in, mostly I think it's just because it's not what you're expecting. Like the first two, I don't want to give spoilers, it's not really spoilers, like obviously Hunger Games, the first book, and Catching Fire, they're both like build up to the Hunger Games, and then a little bit afterwards. Whereas this is like split into 3 sections, the book is anyway. The film, they might like move things around. But it's like 3 quite equal sections, and the middle one is the Hunger Games. So like you get to the end of the Hunger Games, you're like, oh my god, I've still got a third of the book left, what's going to happen? For anyone who listened to LSTV's radio show last year, you'd know it was called Screen Time because it was a little play on the fact that it's about TV and film, which are on screens, and also they'd basically discuss and judge the people on the show's screen time on their phones. So screen time on like iPhones, and I think other phones do it as well. It shows you sort of how much time you spent on your phone every day, and then it gives you an average for each day across the week. And it also tells you which apps you used the most and how long you spent on them. So, Lottie, do you have anything to say?
Yes, I do. I have a little confession to make. I actually turned my screen time off because ignorance is bliss, baby. But yeah. I did not want to be aware of how much time I spend on my phone, but I actually don't think it seems to be that high because I went onto Instagram and they have a similar feature where it lets you look at how much time you've spent on the app. Yeah. And I would say, out of all the apps on my phone, I probably spend either the most time on YouTube or Instagram. Mm-hmm. And my Instagram daily average is 21 minutes. So I think that's really good.
Ellie, what's your screen time overall?
So my screen time for last week was 3 hours and 51 minutes.
Per day? That's really low.
Which,
really low.
But like I'm looking, I spent 55 minutes in the notes app, so I'm like, what was I doing in my notes?
Just composing some poetry to yourself.
What's your most used app?
TikTok with 6 hours, 22 minutes.
Across the week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's alright. I do prefer TikTok for recipes though. I feel like with Instagram, I don't know, they can be a bit mad. Like, you know, those random ingredients you can't find.
Yeah, it's always like, I managed to find tahini finally. I was so happy.
I love tahini.
But you can't get it in Aldi. What I would say is that TikTok and Instagram recipes are not student/Aldi friendly.
They aren't.
Because they'll include like couscous or quinoa or black lentils specifically. Yeah. And I'm just like, when I'm going down the aisle at Aldi and all I can see is one sweet potato that someone hasn't nicked yet and a singular clove of garlic, do we really think I'm going to be finding tahini?
Yeah.
No.
That's so fair. So yeah, my screen time's 4 hours 42 minutes.
I think that's good still.
I think mine kind of varies between like 3 and 5 hours. Yeah. But I'm usually like the lowest. Whenever I'm on the show, you usually get people going like, oh yeah, 6 hours a day. I think last year one person said 12 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's your entire time you're awake, like that's pretty much.
True.
That's
How
mental.
Is that possible?
I don't know. But for me, so my top app is Messenger. Yeah. Because that's a lot of sorting things for LSTV, sorting things, talking to my friends, talking to any of the people. And then it's Instagram. Again, a lot of talking to people, but also scrolling through Reels. Facebook, probably LSTV as well, but also I'm just an old lady. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you for having us. I
Yeah, it's
loved
been
it.
great.
It's all about film, TV, very enjoyable. Hope you've enjoyed it at home, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.